Hello, my loves, and welcome to Magical Me. I'm Jamie Mendez, and I'm here with my weekly Moonday Oracle message. This is going to be a message for the week of March 7th, 2022, and for all of those who find themselves here or for the collective. So I'm going to give it a moment and just allow people to connect. Just take a few moments just to make sure that all is well on the sound. Hello, Bridget. Welcome, beautiful. Thank you for being here. I hope that you're doing well. Can you hear the sound okay? Hey, Jillian. Welcome, love. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Perfect. Okay. So while we're waiting for people to connect, I'm just going to go ahead and share it. Thank you, Bridget. I appreciate that. Just bear with me a moment. How are you ladies doing? I don't know about where you are in the world, but the energy is quite interesting here today. Um, Very motivating in the beginning part of the day, for me at least anyway. And then this like really thick, cloudy kind of energy, fogginess came in a bit. I don't know if everybody else feels that or not. Hi, Laura. Welcome. All right. Done. Hello, Eleanor. Welcome. So I've got this new little thing on my screen here. So I am sorry if I miss anybody's comments, because whereas before I could only see like 2, maybe 3 comments at a time, I literally can see 1 comment at a time now before it scrolls up. Bridget says, emotional day for me today. I saw my biological mother for the first time in 6 years. Wow, talk about a huge transition and emotional. Wow, I completely can understand how that would be incredibly emotional for you. So, wow. I hope that it went well. That sounds like a huge opportunity for some healing and some growth. So congratulations to you for taking that big step. All right. Yeah, there's something on my screen now called stars. And apparently it's something new that Facebook is rolling out. I think that might have to do with monetization. And so what I know about it, or what I've seen about it, is that the stars are an opportunity for those of you who follow my work, who watch the live videos, to basically, show your love, show your support. Of course, I am not requesting that you do that, but I guess that it has to do like financially, so kind of like offering a donation of sorts. So I have not I really don't know more about it than that. So, I mean, if it's something that you choose to do, well, thank you so very much. I would, obviously be so incredibly appreciative of that. But again, I have not used it myself, so I really don't 100% know how it works, other than it does work with real, actual money. Okay. So, that is that. With that said, I am going to go into what you can expect here for anyone who might be new to the magical me Moondays. So every week I do try to either go live or share a video on Mondays to bring forward a message for the collective, for all of us, and really what it is that we might need to know moving into the energy of this week or of each week. So it is a collective reading. As I said, it is not personal, individualized readings that I'm doing here today, but more of a generalized overview for all of us. I do set the energy that it is all in divine timing, or set that intention. So anyone who finds themselves here, whether they're watching live, whether you're watching on the replay, even months from now, you're here in exact divine timing when this message will hold something of resonance for you and resonate within your own life in your own unique way. So rest assured that, again, if you miss the live, or you are watching again months from now and just stumble upon this, there's always a really good reason why. All right. So I do offer personalized readings privately. So as well as individual energy healing sessions, all can be done remotely. So it does not matter where you are at in this great wide world. If you are interested in that, you can always shoot me a private message and we can discuss that further. My rates and services are always listed on my page. I usually take the time to do some news and announcements that might be going on here between Magical Me or my sister business, Oracles of the Light. I don't have too much to announce right now, other than last week I talked about our Magical 3-3 gateway that we were doing, or the Magical 3-3 sound bath on that gateway. And it was so incredibly potent and so blessed with everybody who was able to attend. I know there were many who were not able to attend. So we actually were fortunate to be able to record it in a very good quality. So for anybody who is interested in purchasing that sound bath, the energetics of it are sealed within the recording. That's how it works when we do, any sort of readings like this, when we do any sort of activations or energy work. It's all very much sealed into the recording. Therefore, when you listen to it, it's all about divine timing. And so again, you're never going to miss anything. This is still a wonderful window to be able to work with the sound bath that we brought forward. It was specifically working with the gold flame of Christ consciousness and bringing us more into a divine union within ourselves and between heart and mind, and bringing our mind and heart into that divine balance. And there is, we work with, I should say, a variety of tools, between planetary sound gongs, where we specifically work with aligning the sun and the moon. We worked with the frequencies of Venus and Neptune as well as the 999 hertz frequency, which is all about divine union and has some other very amazing health benefits. And we also work with crystal singing bowls, the solfeggio frequencies. We work with light language as well. So very, very powerful recording. It's about 55 minutes long, 55 to be exact. And if you're interested in that, I have shared the link here on Magical Me as well as on Oracles of the Light for you to be able to purchase, download, and listen in your own time. So if you're interested and you can't find it, just send me a message and I will help you with that. Okay. Hi, Allison. Hi, Flo. Hi, Dawn. Happy Moon Day. Eileen, welcome. Oh, I'm so happy that you all could make it. See if I didn't miss anybody. Jillian says, bee magic. I saw my first bumblebee yesterday. Did you? Oh, I can't wait for the magic of the flowers and the bees again. Wonderful. All right, just making sure I didn't miss anything or anyone. So how are you all? It's been an interesting weekend. It's been some really interesting energetics. Today specifically, definitely felt incredibly, when I woke up, I felt this, let me explain it, like new energy. I felt like it was just very inspiring. I felt like I was inspired to take a new approach and even routine in my week. However, the energy did seem to shift throughout the day, and it came a little bit more foggy. So there's this energy that really just feels like, well, it's also kind of dreary and raining here now. Like almost like, once you just want to lay down and take a nap or watch a movie on the couch with some tea. And, when that comes in, well, one, I do know that there are some really intense geomagnetic storms and solar flares that are happening right now. And I heard that they're just increasing in energy these next couple of days. So that always affects Earth's electromagnetic field simultaneously. It affects and impacts our energetic and magnetic field. And therefore, we can experience some ascension symptoms, feeling sleepy, feeling maybe run down, feeling a little maybe overwhelmed, feeling some anxiety, some physical stuff in the body. Obviously, use your discernment. See a doctor if you feel like you need to see a doctor about something. But these ascension symptoms are literally just that, symptoms of us rising in frequency. And when these solar flares and everything, these storms come in, they really do impact our energy body and they impact our chakra system. So it's just a reminder for us to be more mindful of our energy, be more mindful of our body. Lots of water, rest when you need to rest, obviously eat well if you can do that. And just recognize that you are going through some sort of ascension process or gateway with that, okay? It's pulling up to the surface a lot of emotional stuff as well. And there's a conjunction of things that are actually triggering that between Venus and Mars. Yesterday moved into Aquarius, into 0 degrees of Aquarius together. And they have been doing some stuff on and off together, but it feels like something shifted with this balance where they came back together. I felt like they've kind of having a little bit of like a lover's quarrel and tiff before, and now it feels like they've agreed to come together and overcome their differences, and now they're rising together over the next, I want to say 2 months, which is an incredibly long time for these planets to do that together. So very powerful messages about coming into a divine agreements, balance, and transcending conflict. So very interesting there. All right. Lots of forward movement on our journeys here. I posted the Moonday Mudra for the week as well on my page. I don't know if you've seen it yet. If not, it's on my story as well as on my page as a reel, and also available on my Instagram. And it is the mudra known, I think, as the, where did I put them? Vayu? Yep, the Vayu Mudra. And it's all about expansion. And Jupiter was conjunct the sun, and it's still incredibly in the sphere with the sun, which is really to me about, Jupiter's that planet of expansion, it's growth, it's luck, it's abundance. So definitely seeing shift and movement that way as well. Especially when you're dealing with Venus, who does rule over finances and the material realms, and relationships. So all of these things we can kind of start to see some movement in, and it feels like things needing to be dealt with in those specific areas so that you can transcend into a new timeline or a higher octave where you transcend the karmic cycles or blocks and looping patterns regarding those areas as well. So really an opportune time to deal with anything coming up regarding that. But with the sun, I always see the sun as like our ego. It's like our ego mind. And Jupiter coming in alignment with that, I feel like that expansion and growth is helping us to transcend the ego mind. We are in the sign of Pisces, and Pisces is where we are transcending the ego and kind of dissolving back into the spiritual. So that's very, very interesting as well. So, hi Monielle, welcome beautiful. Thank you for being here. Carolyn, welcome. Thanks for being here. Allison says, I was crying for no reason Saturday over everything. I still don't know why. Well, I mean, you can sit with that, and really just kind of ask yourself what it is that is coming up to the surface for you. But you could also have been tapping into the collective as well, and how maybe the heaviness of a lot of what people are feeling, or it could just been having taken in all of that heaviness within your own life or within the collective circumstances, and crying is just a way to release so that we're not holding it in. So it might not be that there was actually anything that you were like sad about. It's just releasing the heaviness that has been being held within. Okay. Maria, welcome, Goddess. Thanks for being here. Happy Moon Day. Nicole, welcome. Yeah, that energy, right? See if I'm missing anybody. If I didn't say hi and I missed your comment, I'm sorry. Did I say hi, Rose Maria? Welcome, gorgeous. Thanks for being here. Oh, you're so welcome. All right, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get into the oracle message for all of us. And once again, as just a reminder, I try to do it every day, but I do tend to do it when I feel inspired to do it. As is all things, we should always only do what we feel inspired to do, okay? Disclaimer, you grown-ups, make your own choices. Don't come back to me because you decided not to go to work and then got fired, and it was because you took my guidance, okay? So obviously, do what is within reason for yourself. But with that said, I do try to post on my stories, both on Instagram and on here, on my Magical Me business page here. On my stories, I try to post a little bonus message on a daily basis for us. And it's really what I'm inspired to work with. Sometimes it's runes, sometimes it's oracle cards, sometimes it's gods and goddesses, sometimes it's angels, you name it, whatever I'm inspired to do. So that's always also available on my stories at some point throughout the days. Okay. Hi, Ashley. Welcome, love. Thank you for being here. I hope that you're doing well. All right, so we're going to bring it on in to sacred space. All right, so I'm just going to ask you all, if you can, to close your eyes and just take a nice, relaxing, cleansing breath in through your nose. And just allow your exhale to release all tension in your body. Maybe even notice where you were holding tension, whether it was your jaw, your shoulders, your back, your stomach, and allow it to just be released. Take another nice deep breath in. And exhale all stress, all worry, all fear. Remember, just for today, I will not worry. And just for today, I will not anger. And just for today, I will love in compassion and understanding. Another deep breath in. And drop your mind down into your heart space, allowing yourself to detach from the mind, coming into that sense of feeling, coming into your own divinity. All right. So, with that said, today I am working with The Oracle of the Mermaids by Lucy Cavendish. Interesting, we've been talking about a few of us having some emotional stuff coming up these last few days, and the mermaids are all about connecting into the element of water, into the deep abyss of our subconscious and our emotional body, and also in relationships as well as the relationship with the self, which is the most important relationship to be addressing and connecting into. Hey Karen, welcome, love. Glad you made it. Happy Moon Day. Just about to pull the guidance, so asking for divine guidance and insight into the week ahead of March 7th, 2022 for the collective's highest and greatest good, what we all most need to know this week. Ooh. Well then, that kind of makes sense with what I was talking about already, with some of this planetary movement we've got going on here. Interesting, today is the 7th of the month, and the card is a number 7. And to me, 7s are the number of alchemy, magic, ritual, ceremony, but they are also a number with that alchemy that represents to me the bridge of transcendence. And what that means to me is a process, circumstance, epiphany, event that occurs that allows us to transcend one frequency, state of being, consciousness, circumstance, and be altered and have that whole circumstance or even ourselves transcend through that bridge and come into a more aligned state, if you will. So we can see that this is the bridge, the magic, the ceremony, the ritual that takes us from that state of wherever we were, let's say, for example, the state of lead, and turning it into gold. So really transcending and being able to move beyond timelines, patterns, challenges, being able, this could also be at an individual level, being able to achieve something that within yourself or within your life that you may have been working towards. And this is like the magic of going from one state to the next, if you will. 7 to me also represents the divine in the sense of learning how to completely surrender and take that blind leap of faith into trusting in the divine process, divine timing, divine alignment, or just trusting in that the divine has your back and that you are supported as you make these new transitions or transformations this week, okay? The card is freedom. And it says independence, self-determination. And the rebel in me absolutely loves this card. I love the image on this card. So really kind of what I was saying earlier, for those of you who might not have seen it, was, you know, all these planetary alignments that we have right now between Venus and Mars kind of overcoming their conflict in Aquarius at that, which Aquarius is that sign of liberation and freedom, where they are very much about the humanitarian. They are very much the rebel energy, but always working towards the higher good or the greater good of the all type of thing, where it kind of shifts the focus of the energy from the me to the we, or to the bigger picture, even, if you will. So you've got that freedom message there. And again, what it's saying, independence, self-determination, feels like through our sheer determination, through our, you know, the self work that has been being done, through self-awareness, through self-love, all of these messages that have been coming up through the duality within us or externally, we're now beginning to see the patterns or the circumstances for what they really are, and no longer aligning with them, or recognizing that they no longer align with us. Therefore, we're able to kind of like overcome those situations that we've kind of been like going around in circles with, and transcend them. So it gives us this, like, we take our power back, this freedom to transcend what no longer serves us, and to be able to see. Remember, I talked about last week on Moonday, where we had Venus moving into the gate of perception, and that was enabling us to be able to see things for what they really were versus what we might have been conditioned to believe they were, or what we might have been seeing they were from a different perspective before. It was like really allowing us to raise our heads up beyond the fog and see circumstances or situations for what they really were. And so now that we have that, we are making changes, or even even if it's not an outward change that you're making, there may be some deep reflective conversations that you've been having with yourself that are saying no more, or you're saying it's time for me to take the steps and no more sitting back and watching life happen and hoping circumstances align. This is me really kind of taking my power and stepping into it and transcending those situations. It does feel a lot like it's a liberation of karmic cycles, karmic wounds that we've been carrying, and maybe projecting them externally, seeing a situation as like unfair to us, or not working in our favor. But it almost feels to me like there's a whole lot of accountability happening now, where it almost feels like we're advancing, evolving, maturing, and we see situations from our own role and the role that we have played in our own circumstances. And through that, we recognize how much power we really do have and control over those circumstances to take our lives in our own hands and to really step into a different way. Just a really kind of brief example. Definitely not as, I don't know if I want to use the word simple. Definitely not as simple as this example I'm about to give you, but just to giving you a bit of an understanding, because I definitely feel like this is like big epiphany revelation type of stuff. So for example, I have been talking about wanting to connect better with my body, to treat my body in a way that is more sacred and honoring that. And with that said, I wanted to develop a routine of getting to bed earlier, waking up earlier, meditating more, eating better, and obviously exercising more, or doing something that really engages my body's movement more, so that I can really free up any blocked energy. And I've been saying that for a really long time, and I do things here and there, but I'm never really consistent. Suddenly this morning, I woke up and it was like this fire had been lit beneath me. And while I didn't wake up as early as I wanted, it was like my day started immediately versus the time that I normally need to absorb that I'm back in reality again. And I woke up because goodness knows all of the things that I'm doing in my sleep. But, it almost felt like I was in a different place energetically, consciously. And I saw the situation very differently. I didn't see it as like, oh God, this is what I have to do today. I saw this as like, I have all this time to do this today. And so I made a commitment. I signed on to an exercise routine that's going to take me through the next 21 days of consistent breaking patterns and really kind of getting more in alignment with myself to kind of retrain myself to get into that space. And I actually did it. And then I did it immediately after that. I immediately started working out. So it's things like that. Like I said, it's not as simple as that, even though it's not really simple because it's huge for me accomplishing a goal and allowing myself to transcend a stuck pattern, but on much bigger levels as well. So that as we see these things happening within ourselves, the ripple effect is going to eventually occur also externally and in the world around us as well. So this freedom and independence, you've got that energy there with Mars and Venus, who are kind of like lovers, but they also are a bit oppositional with each other at times, because they kind of represent almost the complete opposite, the polarities. But they have come together and they have moved beyond their grievances and their differences to align together at 0 point, guys, 0 degrees yesterday in Aquarius, the sign of revelations. Again, moving into the humanitarian, moving more into you kind of like, again, unity for the world, and again, transcending, and this is more of like the intellect as well. So it's like moving the mind, so moving the consciousness into a different vibration. You know that we are now moving into the age of Aquarius. So it's shifting concept, shifting perception, shifting awareness, shifting patterns, shifting karma, you know, and allowing us to transcend timelines. And so I read something once that said, I forget exactly how it was worded, but it said something like, everything that you've ever wanted in life already exists on a higher timeline. Which means then that it is attainable in this timeline. All you have to do is shift timelines. And the way that we do that is through becoming aware of ourself, of our own hindrances, obstacles, challenges, and the roles that we play in that, and resolve to bring healing into ourselves. And there's many different ways that you could do that, but bring that healing into ourselves and then resolve to make changes. When we become aware, we have the power to make the changes, okay? Even if it's just taking things one day at a time. And as we make those changes, our vibration begins to shift. And as our vibration shifts, it aligns us with a different timeline. So that means that it is much more possible for you to attain or achieve those big dreams and goals for yourself. Nothing is out of bounds. You are limitless, all right? So again, Venus, Mars coming together, they're bringing their grievances into an evolved state, and they're coming together to work together, to transcend as one. So that reset happening, an integration of our polarities, of what timelines no longer exist, and to bringing the lessons, because we're leaving them behind, but we aren't leaving them behind. We're taking with us what we've learned and applying it to the now, therefore integrating a higher timeline as well, or an alternate timeline, whatever you want to refer to it as, where those other opportunities reside. And that becomes the now. That makes sense. So that also we can see potentially some happenings towards that in the collective consciousness as well this week in the planet. All right, so freedom, everyone. You have now got that power, and I love how she's kind of like just like she's in her power. She's in her I can't be swayed. She's in her detached from the lower vibration or lesser vibration of fear, can't, and lack. You know, she's transcending that, and she's got her sword there on the side, which looks like, you know what, I've done the work. Nothing, I don't even need this sword anymore because it's within me. I'm that sword. I'm the power. And I choose to transcend anything not aligning with me anymore. So it all comes down to you, to me, to each and every one of us to change our own circumstances. So the freedom is there if you choose it. All right? I hope that resonates with all of you and how we keep that in mind moving through the energy this week, you know, with this Aquarian energy. Also, I want to say that we have no planets in retrograde. It's very rare. No planets in retrograde for the rest of this month and until the end of April 29th. So 28th, 29th, one of those days. So that means everything is go. Everything is forward movement. Jump on that wave and ride it. Let it carry you into those new experiences, unknown territory. You've got everything that you need to succeed. Okay? Absolutely, Rosemaria, absolutely. She's free. We always were. We never weren't. Okay? All right. Hi, Lynn. Hey, Fred. Welcome. Lori, welcome. Thank you, Kimbo. Welcome. So sorry if I didn't see you all sneak in there. Gina, welcome. Thanks for being here, everybody. So anything that you missed, you can absolutely catch it back on replay. And again, I did talk a little bit in the beginning about some other things that I have going on here between this new star thing that Facebook's rolled out here to be able to, I believe it's just a way to show your support and your love, and it's kind of like a donation of sorts, because I do believe it does work with actual money, but I think that it's only during lives, if I'm not mistaken. So that's there, but also I talk a little bit about a recording that we have available for purchase between here over myself, A Magical Me, and Oracles of the Light from last week's powerful sound bath, and yeah, some other information as well. So I hope that you all have a magical, liberating week. The mudra has been posted already as well, and it just works right along with this message. So all right, everyone, thank you so much for being here, for your love and your support, and I hope that everything is magical.